wife didn't come home last night, and I told myself that was fine. But 48 hours later, no one had left the building. Not a single person. Not the employees, not the police officers who went in to help. Nobody. What happened inside that tower is something I'm still trying to process, and I'm going to tell you everything, because you need to hear this. Her name is Ella, auburn hair, obsessed with ABBA, always shoving her phone in my face to show me memes I didn't find funny. She worked in a glass high-rise downtown as a project manager, neural networks, visual processing, a big deliverable coming up. I never really asked questions. I'd nod. I'd say, "That's great, hun." I never looked at the company website she was so excited to show me. I was too busy, too distracted. That first night she didn't come home, I convinced myself everything was fine. Late nights happen. Jobs are rare right now. I fell asleep. I told myself she must have slipped in at 11, left again at 6. But she wasn't there in the morning, and she wasn't answering her phone. And something in my stomach told me this wasn't a late night at the office. I left work early. I called her coworkers. 2 of them, James and Preeti, I'd met at a work gathering. I spent 20 minutes overthinking the text messages. I wish people death in traffic, but I overthink sincerity in text to strangers. Then a stranger texted me, "Hi, is this Matt?" His name was Ken, salt and pepper hair. We'd met at a bowling night organized by our wives' workplace. I remembered him. Terrible bowler. Nice guy. His wife May, she worked with Ella. Same team, same building. She hadn't come home either, and none of their coworkers were responding. I drove downtown. I found Ella's car in the parking lot first, her beat-up Toyota Camry, just sitting there, like an afterthought. She was still inside. She had to be. The tower loomed ahead of me. Glass walls, dark floors, shades drawn. Most of the lights were off. The parking lot, nearly full, at midnight, on a weeknight. That detail hit me harder than anything else. Before I keep going, drop a comment below. If your partner stopped answering your calls, how long before you called the police? I want to know. I'll read every single one. Ken found me outside the building. We stood there together, 2 husbands in a dark parking lot, staring at a glass tower that was swallowing everyone whole. And that's when the police arrived. 4 vehicles, then a tactical unit. They strung yellow tape across the entrance. 5 officers in full gear went inside. A young officer, Kristen, pulled me aside. Bags under her eyes. The kind of tired that comes from seeing something you can't unsee. She said, "I don't think it's a hostage situation." Then she stopped herself, like she'd already said too much. I went back to my car and slept, because a watched pot never boils, and because I didn't know what else to do. An hour and a half later, I woke up. I walked back to the building expecting chaos, fanfare, answers. Instead, Kristen was alone. Every officer who had gone inside had stopped responding. First team, gone silent. Second team, gone silent. Third, gone. "They haven't answered," she said. And then, every light in the building turned on. Every floor, every room. Then, all off. "That happened an hour ago too," she said. If this story is keeping you up right now, hit the like button. It takes 1 second and it means everything to this channel. Now, back to the building. She showed us security footage. 48 hours of footage. Hundreds of people walking into the building. Nobody walking out. Until 48 hours ago. One man, business casual, shoulder-length hair. He walked out. The entrance flickered behind him. Then, nothing. Nobody else ever left. I drove home, grabbed binoculars, string, tape. I had an idea, a stupid one. I looked up the company website, buzzwords about cognitive modeling, perceptual imaging, ushering in a new phase of technological evolution. The founder's photo stopped me cold. Twins, mid-40s, well-dressed. One of them had shoulder-length hair. Back at the building, a bloodied hand appeared at a window on a high floor. Pressed against the glass, a piece of paper, written in panicked, deteriorating handwriting. "Don't try to save us." Ken grabbed the binoculars, froze. That's May's hand. He walked into the building. Nothing I said could stop him. I kept him on the phone. "Tell me everything you see. Don't stop talking." He described the lobby, the darkness, someone on the ground by the elevator. Then, he stopped mid-sentence. "See?" he said. "See. Ken, snap out of it. 23. His phone hit the ground. An elevator arrived. Dinged. Silence. We are almost at the most horrifying part of this story. Make sure you are subscribed, because the next video connects to this in ways you are not going to see coming. Now, the earmuffs. Kristen had hearing protection in her cruiser. Earmuffs. The kind you'd use at a shooting range. My theory? Sound. Something in the music. Subliminal. Coded. That's what was overtaking them. We put the earmuffs on. We went inside. The lobby was dark. The chandelier above us. The receptionist's desk empty. In the hallway, a thing on the floor. Flesh loose over its bones like cloth draped over a mannequin. It used to be human. On the wall, a large TV screen. A stock image. A little girl smiling, holding a flower. A too-perfect grass field behind her. At the bottom of the screen, in blood-dark text, 23. I turned to Kristen. Her eyes were locked on the image. Far away. Gone. My sound theory was wrong. It was the image. I grabbed her, pulled her into the elevator. She pressed floor 23 without being asked. As we rose, I saw it. On the first floor, near the elevator, a blue bracelet on what remained of a hand. Ken, floor 23. Ding! The doors opened to a massive screen. Flower Girl. And one word. Left. I followed Kristen through the corridors. Direction screens on every wall. Left, right, continue, don't stop. I Want to Break Free by Queen echoed through the halls. At the end of the hallway, an open door to a massive hall. And inside, I have no words for what I saw. Rows and rows of people, or what was left of them. Some dead, aged hundreds of years in hours, faces hollowed, eyelids liquid. Some still changing, trembling, on all fours, ligaments torn, new appendages forming, shapes that had no name. Creatures. At the back of the hall, Ken, still shaking, still somewhat human. On the far wall, the Flower Girl, projected huge, and one word, evolve. A man walked the rows, sunglasses, long hair, nice clothes, the only one not looking at the screen. One of the founders. I tackled him to the ground, hands around his throat. How are you not affected? He asked, genuinely curious. Tell me how to stop this. A smile. The image, how is it not working on you? I'm colorblind, I said. Red-green deficiency. We're working on a version for that too, he said. I didn't let go until he stopped moving. I found the projector, destroyed it, smashed it until the Flower Girl disappeared from the wall. I found Kristen coming back to herself. Put these on. I gave her the sunglasses from the founder. Lead everyone out, blindfolded, eyes shut, whatever it takes. She did. I stayed behind. I called Ella one more time, straight to voicemail. Hi, this is Ella. Ella. Eh. I sat in the middle of the destruction, and I wept. Outside, billboard after billboard lighting up with the Flower Girl's image. The other twin had done his half. The city was next. Then, a voice in my head. Matt, I'm right here. Ella, you can change now, hun. I followed her voice through the dark hall. Cold, warm, warmer. I kept shining lights for you, she said. Every time the lights turned on, that was me. I found a door at the front of the hall, cracked open, something peeking out. All the lights snapped on, and I locked eyes with it. Ella, I whispered. Whatever she had become, she was still in there, still waiting for me, and she had been the entire time. I don't know what happens next. I don't know if there's a way back for her. I don't know if there's a way back for any of them, but I know this. I am not leaving that building without my wife. Subscribe if you want to know what happened next, because I'm going to tell you. And I promise, it gets stranger.